president of Micronesia, a group of small Pacific islands, standing up to China. In a scathing 13-page letter, President David Penuelo says China is preparing to invade Taiwan and goes on to say, quote, one of the reasons that China's political warfare is successful in so many arenas is that we are bribed to be complicit and bribed to be silent. Selena Wang is out front in Beijing. And Selena, these are incredibly strong words from the leader of a small nation, right, who's standing up to this Chinese juggernaut. How is China responding?
Yeah, Aaron, this was an explosive letter, and China responded by dismissing it as smears and accusations. The foreign ministry said they've always respected how Micronesia chooses its own development. Now, Micronesia's president, David Penuelo, he also revealed that he had considered switching diplomatic recognition to Taipei. Now, Penuelo's term in office is set to expire in just a couple months. He's been the president since 2019, and this is not the first time he's spoken out before on China's growing influence in the region. And the context of this letter is increasing fears from regional powers about exactly that. Military strategists see the Pacific Islands location as this key connector between the U.S. territory of Guam and Australia. And both the U.S. and Australia are concerned about China's more increasingly assertive and aggressive posture in the South China Sea as it's been extending its reach further west into Pacific waters, including towards Micronesia. And meanwhile, the island nations themselves, they don't want to be a pawn in this greater power struggle. China has become a key trading partner for their economies and has backed some major projects in some of those countries, including highways in Papua New Guinea and bridges in Fiji.
It is pretty interesting, though, like to see that, okay, so he's leaving power. But what does this signal? And the fact that he would call it out and put it out there for all these other countries around the world who are dealing with the same thing. Maybe that's where the power might be. There's also growing concern, I understand, Selena, of another lockdown in China, where you currently are today, but not because of COVID?
Well, this time, Aaron, it's for the flu. So the Chinese city of Xi'an has published an emergency response plan that says if community spread reaches an acute level, officials can use lockdowns, school, and business closures. Now, no surprise, but this has led to significant backlash on Chinese social media. I mean, it's only been a few months since China dropped zero COVID, and Xi'an, which is a city of around 13 million people, it went through a brutal lockdown back in 2021. But it is important to mention that this emergency plan, it's not unusual for local governments to lay out plans like this to handle flu strains, and plans like this have been made before, even before the COVID pandemic. But those fears on social media, they really reflect the trauma that so many went through during years of restrictions, and it's a reminder that they could lose their freedoms again in the name of health and safety, Aaron.